George thought so. These drawings were becoming very useful. What type of weather did George draw the day before when it was sunny? Phoenix.
A sunset.
He drew a sunset. What else did he draw? Eliana. He drew a sun. Are there any clouds in his picture? No. Okay. The day that it rained, though, what did he draw on his page the day it rained? India.
Clouds.
He drew clouds. So do you think that the clouds represent rain? When it's cloudy, do you think it's going to rain?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, I like that. Let's see. We're going to continue on. The next day, George used his drawings to help make a decision. When the man asked if George wanted to go on a picnic, George predicted that the clouds he saw that morning would mean rain later on. He decided to stay at home. What does it mean to predict something? What does it mean to predict something? Remember yesterday when we were talking about reading words that we aren't familiar with? We can use the pictures or the words before it to help us figure out what it means. So if he said that he used his drawings to predict what the weather would be tomorrow. What does predict mean, Phoenix?
It means what you think.
What you think. You make a prediction about what's going to happen next. Something that hasn't happened yet. Aha! So maybe dark clouds meant that it would rain. White clouds meant the weather would be good. George was so happy when he saw a sky full of white clouds the next morning. Now he can go on that picnic. What type of clouds mean it's going to rain? Adriel.
Black clouds.
Dark black clouds. Really dark clouds. What do the white clouds usually mean? Zoe.
It's not going to rain.
It's not going to rain. Good job. But George's happiness did not last long. Wind blew a storm and that soaked his sandwich. The wind had ruined his picnic and his prediction. The weather business was not easy. How was George supposed to predict wind to? What type of weather? What type of weather did George predict?
By jackets.
What type of weather did George predict? Eduardo.
He said it was going to be sunny.
And then what happened?
Because the clouds were white, but his happiness did not last long because it was raining.
It ended up raining. So do white clouds always mean that it's going to be sunny? No. Do white clouds mean that it's going to rain all the time? No.
Sometimes
But
it means
can they?
Yes.
All right, let's see.
Sometimes it means it's going to rain. Sometimes it means.
The next day, George noticed a flag flapping in the wind. He didn't have a flag, so he used the man's sock as one. George watched as the sock flapped in the direction the wind blew. George also had a pinwheel. When the wind blew fast, his bee pinwheel spun quickly. When the wind blew slowly, or not at all, the pinwheel spun slowly too. Now he could tell how fast the wind was blowing. I'm learning a lot from this story. As a special treat, George's friend took him to the weather station for a visit. There were no socks, pinwheels, crayons, or crickets. How did they predict the weather? The weather scientists told George that they use radar and satellites in space to find weather patterns. What is a pattern, Phoenix?
Something that repeats.
Something that repeats. It can be boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. It can be boy, 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 girl, 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 boy, boy, boy. There are so many different patterns in the world, just like there are with weather. Okay? Unfortunately, they were missing one of their satellites. They wouldn't be able to predict the day's weather for the mayor's big golf game. George had an idea. What do you think George's idea is? Eliana.
I think that Jordan's idea is the weather is gonna change each time a day.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
I think he's gonna the idea is the weather. How long if the wind is strong, he thinks it's gonna rain, but if it's not, it's not gonna.
All right. Let's find out. George raced home. The sock and pinwheel showed the morning storm clouds were being blown away. His drawing showed the sky was red the night before, and the cricket was chirping quickly. George predicted it would be a good day for golfing. He could predict the weather after all. Back at the weather station, the mayor was happy to hear the news. He invited everyone to come to the golf course.
What story?
George had one more prediction to make that day. Tomorrow would be a great day for a picnic. So, boys and girls, we talked about how... Sweetie, not right now. Go put this on my desk. We talked about how he drew a picture of the sun and he drew a picture of the clouds. Why did George start drawing pictures to begin with? Leia.
First, he knows when it is, and because he wanted to see what it looks like sunny clouds and rain clouds.
So he wanted to draw a picture of what the sky looked like. Why would he want to draw a picture of what the sky looked like, though? What would it help him do? Ezra. So the scientists can see it? What would they use it for? Eduardo.
So the American flag was on the golf.
Okay,
But he wanted to draw the pictures because sometimes it's raining to get the kite and it keeps ruining his fun.
it does keep ruining his fun. So what does he need to be able to do for the next day? He needs to be able to what the weather? Phoenix.
To know what weather it is.
Guys, he wrote in his journal so that he could predict what the weather is going to be tomorrow. So,
Tomorrow?
yep, or predict what the weather is going to be that afternoon.
That was
Boys and girls, he wrote or drew pictures in his journal to help him predict what the weather is going to be that afternoon or the next day. So, we talked about how he drew a sun the day before when it was sunny. So when there was a sun, we think it's sunny, okay? But what happened the day after George drew dark clouds? What happened? Kalani. What type of weather happened the next day after he drew dark clouds? It was rainy. So, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Wrong one. Again. How did George help the weatherman to predict the weather? We talked about how the weatherman uses satellites and they use radars, but without that, how did George help them? Alasia.
patterns.
He helped them figure out patterns. I like that. What did he do though? What actions did he take to help him figure it out? Cameron.
He helped me figure out why the weather is raining. The dark clouds are raining like water.
Yep, the dark clouds rain water. Correct. How did George help the weatherman though? What did he do? India.
He used his fake bee so he can see how the wind blows fast or slow.
Guys, he used his bee pinwheel to help him figure out how windy it was. That helped him to predict the weather. He did it just off of materials that he had at home. He had a pinwheel that helped him understand how the wind was blowing. He used a sock to also help him understand how the wind was blowing.
And if it was fast, that means it was going to rain, but if it was slow, that means it's going to be sunny.
Exactly. So, or it meant that the wind wasn't blowing super fast. So, he helped the weatherman to predict the weather by using his own instruments at home. How could we take what George taught us and predict the weather ourselves? What could we do to predict the weather? Leah.
That we can predict the weather by using items outside to make sure it's not raining or other stuff that is going to be bad.
Right, so we can use our own materials to figure out what the weather is going to be like. What else can we do? Can we use our journal for anything?
Yes.
Zoe, can we use our journal to help us predict the weather? What would you do in your journal to help you predict the weather?
Like draw the weather it feels like it.
Draw what the weather feels like? What else can we draw in our journal? We can draw what it feels like, but what it... Phoenix.
What it's clouds or the sun.
So what it feels like and what it looks like, guys. Those are great things that we can draw in our journal. So I want you guys to think about the weather when you came in this morning. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Close them. And think about what the sky looked like when you came out inside this morning. What did it feel like outside? Close your eyes and think about it.
I already know. It was. Don't tell her.
Boys and girls, hands and eyes.
Hands and eyes.
We have an assignment or an activity that we are going to do today, okay? So, remember, this is a question that you have in your mind. Think about when you came into the building this morning. How could we, Zoe, sit up? How could we describe the weather that we are seeing? I don't want you to tell anyone. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you thought about what it looked like this morning and what it felt like this morning. Cameron, then you need to think about it. Mason. Guys, don't tell me you're gonna draw it down on a piece of paper. All right, so boys and girls, you can put your hands back down and put them in your lap. Thank you. All right, this is a paper that we are putting on your desk. We are gonna make our very own science journal. We're gonna do this, and over the next few days, we're gonna do like 5 more activities in our journal. And we are gonna create our very own. We're gonna predict the weather. We are gonna draw what the sky looks like. So, this paper has different flaps. It says, I can describe the weather. Now, I'm not gonna tell you which one to draw, but based off of what you thought the weather felt like today, what did it feel like outside today? What did it look like outside today? You're gonna draw it on one of these. If you thought it was cloudy, you're gonna draw the clouds. If you thought it was rainy, snowy, stormy, or sunny, you're gonna draw what you think it was like outside. So, boys and girls, I want you to think about it. You're not gonna color all of them. You're just gonna color what you think it looked like and felt like outside today. But don't tell anyone around you, because you're gonna share after about 10 minutes of doing this. So I want you to be unique, and I want you to do your own thing, because I want to see if we all end up drawing the same thing. All right, so you're gonna quietly, when I say go, you're gonna quietly stand up, go back to your seat, and begin working. Go now, quietly. I should hear the crickets. I should hear the crickets. I should hear the crickets. Go to your seat. Thank you, Joey, for working with us. Thank you, Adriel. Look, you're just coloring the ones that it looked like. What did it look like? Thank you, Leah, for working so Keep going, keep doing it. Yeah, good. Is it cloudy? I want to do. So, yes, you.
Me too.
And you. All right, boys and girls. Both hands. Look, do it with me. Both hands. And you're going to spin it like this. Make sure not to go up and down. Just go in a circle. Make sure to go in a circle.
Whoa, I can't even see that thing.
Because I didn't tell you to stop. Keep going until I tell you to stop. Keep going. Stop. Boys and girls. Boys and girls. Who is being a role model? Ooh, let me see. Oh, wow. I really like the way that India and Cameron have their head down. All right. Now the person next to you gets to do it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. All right, boys and girls. Oops. Boys and girls, are you ready? Everyone else's voice is off. All right, let's go. Side in a circle, guys. Not up and down. In a circle. Keep going. Keep going. Zoe, in a circle. Not up and down. In a circle.
It's hard.
All right, put it down. All right, hands and eyes. What happened? What did you notice happen? Phoenix.
That bubbles came up.
Okay, there were bubbles. What else did you see? Alasia.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Mason, if you keep talking, you will go next door. Alasia is talking. I need you to be quiet. I want everybody to tell me what they noticed was happening on the inside.
It was my turn.
Just everybody. What did you see happening?
It's a mason jar.
India, what did you see happening?
I saw the bubbles change colors.
Okay. Alasia, what did you see?
And
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Boys and girls, please remember that if you cannot follow expectations, you will do the other assignment. Alasia is talking. Alasia, what did you notice?
when my other partner, when she spun it around, and told us to stop, it was kind of like a tornado because I saw something moving. It was going around.
Okay. Now let me ask you something. Mason, put it down. Partner 1, who went first, I want you to pick this up with both hands and spin it around until I tell you to stop. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5, stop.
Wait, it's spinning.
All right, partner number 2. Partner number 2. I want you to spin it until I say to stop. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. Stop.